This meeting also serves as the October board meeting, and I'm officially calling it to order. We do have a quorum, and our board members are seated in the first two rows directly in front of the stage here. At this time, I'd like all the board members to please stand and be recognized. We could have had them up here on stage, but we thought they'd be more comfortable in the front row. Thank you all for your service, and I look forward to working with you in the year ahead. The Chamber's board, which includes leaders from veteran-owned small businesses to the president of the state's land-grant university system, reflects the wide array of businesses that make up our membership. The Chamber finished the 2012-2013 fiscal year with 2,128 members, 84% of which employ 50 or fewer employees, and 61% which employ 10 or fewer employees. While the organization is perceived to be focused on big business, those numbers are evidence that the Chamber is a resource for all companies, big and small. The common thread of our members share is that we are all contributing to the enrichment of our community by providing jobs, goods, services, and revenues. We are all driving regional economic prosperity, which is the Chamber's mission. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of why we're here, thank you all for what you do to make our community better. If you'll indulge me to continue with the tone of appreciation, I'd like to recognize some individual members here today who effectively used the resources of the Chamber to grow their businesses. Kimberly Sturkey and Brenda Herron of Copper Cellars are here. Would you both please stand and be recognized, Kimberly and Brenda? Up until 2010, the Chamber had a very difficult time recruiting and renewing restaurants because of the nature of their business and their staffing. The advent of iknowknoxville.com helped us secure more restaurants because it provided them a highly tangible benefit, a directory listing on a highly trafficked website. However, Copper Cellars has proven that a chamber membership can be beneficial to restaurants beyond just the catering business and directory listings. Representatives from one of Knoxville's largest restaurant groups attend networking events and educational seminars on a regular basis. They value the resources of the chamber provides, and we want to thank them for that. I believe that Kevin Proffitt, the managing director of Northwestern Mutual here in Knoxville, is also in attendance. Kevin, would you mind standing and being recognized? Kevin's team does an outstanding job of utilizing the Chamber to build relationships and build the business. They have employees participating in the Chamber's ambassador program over the last 14 years. Recently, they moved to new offices in West Knoxville to accommodate their growing staff. Kevin, thank you and your team for effectively leveraging your Chamber membership and for making our community stronger because of it. Next is Brian Strong and Chris Van Beek sitting somewhere out there. Could you please stand? True entrepreneurs, Brian and Chris are co-founders of Vendor Registry, an online solution that simplifies the process of government contracting for both vendors and public entities. Having only launched the business a little over a year ago, Brian and Chris have used the Chamber as a marketing tool and relationship builder. One or both of them can be seen at almost all Chamber networking events, working the room and spreading the gospel about their product, which, by the way, is a great tool to help local small businesses navigate the red tape and secure business with procurement officials. Thank you both for your dedication to the Chamber and your entrepreneurial spirit. I could go on and on about other members in the room with similar stories. However, we all have to get back to our own businesses and work to make them successful. So I won't delay any longer to get into the crux of our gathering this morning. I want to talk a little about the year in review. When you look at the milestones from the 2012-2013 fiscal year, it's clear the Chamber has not lost sight of the vision of making Knoxville America's best business address. The Chamber staff passes a road sign exactly like the one you see on the screen here on their way to the office each and every day, providing them with inspiration for their daily tasks. They're working on your behalf to make this vision a reality. The Chamber's membership team recorded several important milestones over the last year. As I mentioned earlier, the organization finished the 2012-2013 fiscal year with 2,128 members, which is a 2% increase over last year's numbers. We finished the year with an 88% member retention rate, which is also 2% points higher than last year and a modern history for our chamber. New member dues were more than $161,000, which is also another recent high. Chamber account executives Ashley Atkins and Corey Johnson both ranked amongst the top 10 in the country for new member sales. Let me repeat that. They both ranked among the top 10 in the country on new member sales. Ashley and Corey, will you please stand so that we can recognize your outstanding effort? IKnowKnoxville.com, the Chamber's online directory that launched in November of 2010, saw a 77% increase in promo page views over the prior year. Member pages received more than 285,000 page views between July 2012 and June 2013. Speaking of online presence, with the help of Bluegill Creative and DMGX, a company owned by board member Parker Frost, the Chamber launched a fresh new online presence last fall on KnoxvilleChamber.com. Also, the Chamber executed more than 60 events during the last year with over 6,400 registrants. A staff the size of the Chamber wouldn't be able to execute the many events without the help of the organization's 45 ambassadors, who volunteered over 5,600 hours last year. I'd like to take a moment, if you are an ambassador in the room, would you please stand so we could recognize and thank you all for your outstanding efforts. Truly helping us to get it done. Public policy and business advocacy continues to be areas of focus for the Chamber staff. While it is harder to quantify what the public policy team does, they have been very active over the last year. For the first time in recent history, the Chamber created a legislative scorecard, which provides the community with a business-related legislative record of elected bodies and individuals representing Knoxville and Innovation Valley, including the 108th Tennessee General Assembly. The team also launched Speak Up for Biz, a public policy tool designed to both inform and rally the business community on time-sensitive legislation happening at federal, state, and local levels. The online system was used 7 times since its engagement in early 2013 on legislative issues such as the election of school superintendents, workers' compensation reform, and the city's sign ordinance. Recognizing potential opposition to Tennessee's adoption of the Common Core educational standards, the Chamber created a Common Core 101 pamphlet geared to educating the business community, parents, and local elected officials on the impetus behind Common Core, what the standards are, and what they will do. This is a very important topic for the business community to understand. I'll be discussing it a little bit further in a few minutes. Lastly, but certainly not least, the Chamber created a political action committee to help identify major legislative issues and help fundraise to advocate on behalf of the business community. The PAC has a separate board of directors, but will work hand in hand with the Chamber to help foster business-friendly legislation. The Chamber's most viable role in the community is economic development. Under contract with both the City of Knoxville and Knox County as their economic development agency, the Chamber provides both entities with a staff that has over 102 years of experience in the economic development industry. Our economic development team also manages Innovation Valley, the regional economic development initiative that officially launched in 2008. There are now 8 regional agencies that make up Innovation Valley, each bringing unique assets to the table. These organizations recognize that a regional approach to economic development provides the most advantages to both businesses planning a corporate relocation, expansion, and the communities involved. Let me give you an example. Last December, Delconca, a global company specializing in ceramic tiles, announced they would build a $70 million factory in Loudoun County and create 178 new jobs. So we have to ask ourselves, how do you think the economic development impact of that project will affect not only Loudoun County, but the region as a whole? Contractors from throughout the region are being used during the construction project, creating jobs and revenues. And once the facility is completed, not all 178 of the people occupying those new jobs will all live, shop, and play within the boundaries of Loudoun County. That is why creating and championing a regional approach, a unified front, is so important to our area and our state. As the managing organization of Innovation Valley, Knoxville's chamber staff worked with consultant Boyette Strategic Advisors to write Blueprint 2.0, a strategic plan for the next 5 years of this initiative. The plan was unveiled in February and lays out 5 strategic priorities and 5 target recruitment areas to focus on. I'm not going to go into all the details of Blueprint 2.0, but I will tell you we are in the midst of the fundraising stage for the next 5 years, and I encourage you to visit KnoxvilleOakRidge.com to learn more about the strategic plan. Over the last year, Innovation Valley has celebrated several significant announcements. ADD Security's expansion of 240 jobs. Delconca, as I just recently mentioned, 178 jobs and a $70 million capital investment in Loudoun County. Tomcat Staging Systems is the reshoring of 50 jobs and a $2 million capital investment. Pronova Solutions Manufacturing Plant, 525 jobs and a $52 million capital investment. Gerdau's expansion, which resulted in 40 jobs and a $2 million cap investment. Norfolk Southern's expansion of 10 jobs and almost $6 million in capital investment. All of these projects add up to about $132 million in capital investments and over 1,000 new jobs for our area. Other achievements of the economic development team include helping Mayor Madeline Rogerio in the city of Knoxville launch the Knoxville Entrepreneurial Center located just below the Chamber at 17 Market Square. Providing one-on-one counseling to 140 minority, veteran, and women-owned small businesses through the Propel program. Hosting the 2nd annual Green Carpet Tour, a 2-day event that brings site selection consultants from all over the country to the Innovation Valley to experience all the businesses and quality of life assets that our region provides. Assisting with the creation of the Competitive Airfare Partnership and managing the initiative, which is charged with raising financial support for the recruitment of a sustainable low-fare air carrier to Knoxville's McGee-Tyson Airport. And the distribution of more than 1,500 relocation packets to prospective residents. Also, the Chamber's research specialists responded to more than 2,300 research requests from area businesses. While the focus on the grand vision of making Knoxville America's best business address, the staff also made sure the organization remained fiscally sound. The Chamber finished the year with an increase in net assets just shy of $60,000 and recorded one of the largest increases in annual audited EBITDA in the history of the organization. The Chamber also refinanced its building loan over at 17 Market Square, saving the organization over $45,000 in interest costs for the upcoming fiscal year with a mortgage that will be retired in 15 years. At this time, I'd like the Chamber staff to stand up and be recognized for all the achievements that I've just mentioned. I'm honored to serve as the chairman of this organization that employs these skilled professionals, and you should be proud that they are the face of your chamber. I'd now like to move a little bit to talk about the year ahead. So let's change the focus from the past and talk a little bit about the upcoming year. When we gather together a year from now, what will be some of the new initiatives that we hope to celebrate? We will be in the early stages of a new strategic plan that will follow up on the organization's initial plan, which was launched in 2010. The Chamber's entire staff and the board will be engaged in this process. The plan will be designed around 3 core principles or functions of the organization: engaging the business community, advocating for the best interest of business, and striving for excellence. The Chamber's membership staff will continue to engage the business community and our members. Our sales team is poised to hit the goal of an average of 30 new members each month, and we are hoping for another strong year for retention, with the goal of retaining 88% of our members again this year. The membership staff will enhance customer service by providing a dedicated member services phone line, and they want your input on Chamber services. We're asking you if you'd please share your thoughts by filling out the survey on the homepage of knoxvillechamber.com. We also hope to be celebrating significant job and capital investment growth following the first year of the Innovation Valley Blueprint 2.0. We're off to a good start with the recent announcement of ARC Automotive's expansion and last week's big announcement that Leisure Pools USA will relocate their North American headquarters and manufacturing plant to the Forks of the River Business Park. Chamber staff will continue to look for ways over the next year to distinguish themselves nationally through involvement with the U.S. Chamber and the American Chamber of Commerce Executives, also known as ACCE. Doug Minter will be leading a group of chamber executives in providing a white paper for ACCE entitled The Business Case for Chamber Diversity. Mark Field will be continuing to inspire young leaders and expand Knoxville's influence in his role as a member of the U.S. Chamber Southeast Institute Board of Regents. Mike Edwards has a big role on both the state and national levels in creating awareness about workforce development deficiencies, as well as identifying and preaching solutions. He serves on the State of Tennessee's Board of Education as chairman of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation Education and Workforce Program. That is a title. Speaking of workforce development, in my mind, there is no greater priority for the Chamber. It has been a cornerstone of our public policy efforts since 2006, and it will continue to be in the year ahead. Chamber leadership gets asked quite often, why is the Chamber involved so heavily with public education? The answer is very simple. Today's students are tomorrow's workforce. That is why over the coming year we will see the Knoxville Chamber, along with our counterparts in Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, Kingsport, and many other business organizations in the state, leading the advocacy efforts to get the Common Core educational standards fully implemented in the state of Tennessee. Teaching our children to think critically is important for the business community. Common Core will help us do that. Please make sure you visit the Chamber's website and get versed on Common Core. There's a brochure entitled Common Core 101, which I mentioned previously, that will give you the background and foundation for the standards. We then ask you, after you've reviewed this, to fill out the Common Core pledge, stating that your business's support of the standards, so we can prove to our elected officials that this initiative deserves our full support and their full support. I'll leave you this morning with one last thought. Some have asked me about juggling the roles of Chamber as the chairman of the Chamber, along with being the publisher of the New Sentinel. In reality, the roles are more similar than different. The ultimate goal of the ultimate goals of the two positions are very much aligned. Obviously, building a strong local economy is paramount to both organizations. Secondly, both organizations act as a driving force for change in order to support the well-being and growth of our community. I look forward to spending the next 2 years as the chairman of this organization and furthering its mission of driving regional economic prosperity.